Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? Goon here. It's been a while. I have not made a video in a minute, and I wish I had a better reason, but when you work 5 days a week for over a year and a half and you're doing freelance work on your days off, it makes it really difficult to make YouTube videos. They were born out of the pandemic, born out of a time when I didn't have such consistent work, and now I'm thankful that I do have that work, but something had to give, YouTube did. And that being said, I have had plenty of times where I've wanted to make a video, or I've had some piece come my way where I've thought to myself that making a video would be good, it would be nice to do, but it's just been hard to feel like I can really give it my all when these other aspects of my life are taking precedent. That being said, I am in a really good place. I really do enjoy what I'm doing for work and what I get to do in my free time, so everything is good on that end. It's just, I haven't had much time to make videos, and for that I'm sorry. That being said, I did want to update you guys on some changes, mainly with my wardrobe, and I guess it's a very verbose way of saying that I've had a bit of a shift in my wardrobe and have found solace in one designer in particular. I've just had a lot of fun buying pieces from this brand, but it's visvim, and it's Hiroki Nakamura's visvim specifically. There's only one, but you know what I mean. If you're not familiar with visvim, visvim is a brand started by Hiroki in the early 2000s. It began with the FBTs, which I will have here on screen. Hiroki really tries to take old world methods when it comes to clothing creation, whether it's the dyeing processes or the actual construction of the clothes itself, and then collages it with this Japanese heritage that he knows, along with the Americana inspiration that he constantly strives for. His ideal clothing, his vision per se, is this idea of future vintage. So it's current pieces with a really old world fit and feel to them. And I think that comes through very well. I've been into visvim for a really long time. I think I can recollect seeing the brand back in 2015, 2016 when I first started to delve into clothes more thoroughly. With that in mind though, I think that while the pieces are great, they very much occupy a specific look and aesthetic. And in recent seasons, I've really started to love the direction the brand has taken with the more eccentric nature of the clothes that they're doing, in conjunction with these methods that I was doting upon earlier, this idea of mud dyes and really unique and kind of gentle fabrics on person. As you guys know, I'm mainly known for my acronym content, and I do think that it's pretty funny that a lot of the people who are into acronym also tend to have some type of appreciation for visvim and seeing the two worlds collide. I think that it's because acronym is able to take a lot of military inspiration for their garments and the functionality and the overall silhouettes, and then combine it with proprietary materials to make something new and really special in terms of how it's able to collage those elements. And visvim does a lot of the same thing, but I would say that it's got a little bit more of like a fabric-oriented focus, while still being a brand that collages a lot of very unique, casual, and kind of gentle options that really harken towards that Americana inspiration that Hiroki has. There's really interesting ways in which the brands can cross over. They both worked at Burton, funny enough, Errolson, Hugh, and Hiroki. And I've just found a lot of solace in the pieces and getting to wear them in the climate that I live in. I've mentioned how I'm, ocean adjacent. I'm in California, so a lot of the look and feel that visvim has just makes sense for where I am. It's easy to wear for work, it's easy to wear in general, but it still has a really unique je ne sais quoi that feeds me. While I've had pieces that I've owned while I was still making videos, I definitely accumulated a lot more, and I thought it'd be fun to go over all of them. Matthew from Visvim Trading Post does a lot of that himself too, and I would be lying if I didn't say I was inspired by him. But I thought it would be just fun to go over the pieces that I have that I've been able to incorporate some styling if possible, and just kind of get into why I like the brand, but just through the pieces themselves. I guess you could say that this is like a very large pickup video favorites thing, what have you. So let's get into it. I'm gonna start at the bottom and then I'm gonna just make my way all the way up to the top. So we'll start with shoes. The first shoe that I wanted to go over is probably one of the most recognizable things from visvim, and it is the Christo sandal. This is one of those shoes, and it kind of harkens towards what I was mentioning earlier, that I think everybody can figure out a way to like incorporate it into their wardrobe. Whether they're trying to have it be the around the house sandal, or whether they're trying for it to be this really eccentric and kind of elevated sandal that they can put into a more, well, you know, put together outfit for out and about. I know for a fact that I've done it in both circumstances, and that's why I love these so much. Shout out to Austin for selling me these. He was a coworker of mine, and he let them go because he just wasn't getting that much wear out of them, and bada bing, bada boom, they are in my collection. These are definitely an older model for certain, and if the extreme amount of wear on them didn't kind of point to that already, I believe they were from around like 2010, 2011, but these things are tanks and they hold up to time, and even though that these are like a ivory cream color, they still look really robust and, you know, strong as a sandal. Some unique details that I think are worth mentioning are the dyed buckles, which have started to stain the fabric that you can see there, which I think is really unique. It's a full ballistic nylon upper with a suede footbed that has really lovely and considered foot portions where your toes and the balls of your feet can sit, so it's really, really comfortable. I think that's one of its best qualities. On the bottom, it's got a Vibram outsole. It's visvim's unique Vibram outsole, so it's kind of made custom for the shoe, but it is incredibly robust and has stood the test of time. A little bit of heel bite going on, but when the shoes are over 12 years old, it's kind of what you expect. Fantastic shoe. They've been mended. They've been beat to death. I still wear them all the time, and I think that they honestly just kind of get better and better with age, albeit a shoe that you wouldn't really think would do that. But that just kind of goes to show how special the Christos are. They come out very consistently if you want them yourself. They're on the website and secondhand markets, but a really cool shoe. Another shoe that has that same sort of slip-on light quality, but it's definitely more formal, are these Fabro folk loafers that I have right here. A really awesome shoe. Loafers have definitely kind of made a little bit of a surge in fashion as of lately, and I found these on YJP for under $100. And I was completely blown away by it, so I definitely had to pick them up. I took them to a cobbler. He was able to just do some light mending and just refurbishing of the shoe from its original pretty beat state, and while they are still very worn looking, I think that there's a lot of character on these shoes very similar to the Christos. The best, and I think the coolest detail of the shoe as a whole is the fact that it's got this little bit of fabric inlay here at the heel. It's what looks like a Hawaiian print. It's got like some little blossoms on there, but it's just such a nice little touch, and it definitely stands out when you're walking around. It's really subtle, but it's still very much there. The inside is a full calfskin leather. The outside is like a really nice polished and sturdy leather. And I put a nice little insole in here not only to make them fit a little bit better, because it's a pretty wide heel. I think with loafers in general, you can get a little bit of heel slip, but this just makes them much easier to wear for longer periods of time, albeit still a pretty, rigid shoe. A really nice loafer, something that's definitely elevated my wardrobe in a lot of ways, a penny loafer specifically, and I've really, really loved the wear that I've got out of them. They're made in Japan. They are on a Goodyear welt, meaning that they are able to be refurbished and redefined, if you will, when they start to get especially worn, so that's a really nice aspect to them. But, 10 years of wear and these things are still holding strong, albeit weathered. So I really love them. I will continue to love them, and if they start to wear down, I'll just get the Vibram replaced like I did semi-recently. So the visvim Fabro folk loafers. I believe these came out in around 2010, so also a very old shoe in the grand scheme of things. Next, we've got something that's a pretty familiar silhouette, but it's like visvim's take on it, and other brands have done their take on a shoe like this, and I really love the way that they did it. This is the visvim low Skagway. I believe these are the Skagways, but with that in mind, the shoe has recently came out again in almost this exact same silhouette and design as of this season, but I believe it's called the Zethra. It's just essentially a slip-on Van, but it's Visvim's take on it, which has a little bit of a raised sole, so it's just a little bit more chunky. It's got that lightning bolt detailing all the way around, which is something that recurs on a lot of their garments. A little leather patch right here on the tongue itself, and then a full Vibram outsole, so it's really, really hardy. I love these shoes. They're definitely incredibly comfortable. The full cork footbed that we have in here just melds to your foot, and as time goes on, it just gets more and more comfortable to wear. And as it gets older, it also looks better. I really like the way in which the shoe is started to wear in particular. It's got a little bit of a leather hit here on the back, which just gives it a bit of structure, but it's also very soft and it offers a little bit of detail too. So it's a great shoe, to say the least. Very easy to style, also just unique in that little bit of a platform that it has. So it works in a wide variety of circumstances, and while it's really simple and easy to style, it's also definitely a little bit more eye-catching. I would also say that that could be attributed to the cream coloration of this entire outsole. One of the better qualities that it has. Anything of note? Oh yeah, it's made in China. Visvim primarily makes all of their items in Japan. Some of them tend to be made in China in really well-monitored facilities. The Christos, for example, are made in Korea, so they do some sourcing in unique circumstances, but it's just for when they think that they can get like a better product. And these are definitely a good product. I've worn them a ton, especially for work, and they really, really hold up. So the Visvim Skagway. So going from shoes, we move into pants, and I think that this is the largest portion of my Visvim collection. I have the most pants, and I think it's just because they have such a nice gentle cut and look to them. They end up working in a wide variety of circumstances. One of the older, I guess more like gentle pieces that I have are these infantry pants right here in this brown wool construction. It's a full wool, it's got a nice like warmth to it. But the thing that I really truly love about these is this marriage of old world look and feel with, you know, a little bit of like a more Americana quality to it. I guess that those are synonymous with each other, but what I mean by that is that this infantry pant is based off of Japanese military pants. But at the very same time, because of the wool and the button detailing and how it looks like something pretty contemporary in that sense, it really reinvigorates the pants as a whole. The integrated belt system right here is a great little bit of detail. You can tie it pretty short and you don't have to worry about the belt detail actually hanging out your shirt, but at the very same time, if you want to tie the belt really tight and give it a single knot, it can be this thing that hangs below your legs and offers a little bit of extra detail. It's got two back pockets here on the back, asymmetrical, as one has a flap, the other one does not. And it's got a really nice kind of slim, straight cut to it. I would say more like regular. It's definitely like a regular cut, but it's a fantastic pair of pants accordingly. Really nice and warm for the winter, but it's not so hot that you can't wear it in like multiple seasons. I mean, it's probably low 70 right now, and I could still wear these. Incredibly soft as well, and also an older piece for certain. Looking at the tag here, it looks like these came out in 2012, so they are definitely on the older side, and that's probably why they have like a little bit more of like a slim, straight, like regular cut to them. You'll see it in the video of me wearing it, but you know, a unique piece regardless, and one that I still get a lot of wear out of to this day. This chocolate brown is a great color. So this next pair of pants that I have here, I think it's arguably my favorite of the bunch, albeit more subtle and a little bit more, I guess, safe compared to the other ones. I get so much wear out of these, it's ridiculous, but the unique qualities that it has is just awesome. So these are the Visvim Muir pant, and I love that name because John Muir is tight. But what I really love about these, and you can kind of just see from this top half of the pants, is this like hand-done tacking that they have on the pants. The tack method is used on a good few of their more recent season options, and I really love their usage of it because it gives the pants these unique pleats, these unique qualities that make it look a little bit better on person. With these, it's got these really harsh tacks that run down the front right here, which even fold the belt in a little bit. So you've got a little bit of dimension there. And it's also done on the back too, which completely manipulates the pockets with these folds, like you can see there. On body, the pockets bellow outwards and have like a three-dimensional quality to them, which I think is really, really cool looking as a whole. Those pleats don't just stop up here at the waist, however. If we move down the leg, you can see that on either knee, there are large pleats as well, which give it a little bit of like a fold and dimension up there. And then that same tacking is all the way down at the bottom of the pants as well, right above where the pant would puddle on the shoe. So it gives an especially unique look right where the pant lands on the shoe, which I think is one of my favorite details about it. The construction is just this really rigid twill. It's very soft to the touch, but you can tell that there's a lot of heft to it, which I think is why I also love it. It's just a really hard wearing pair of pants for that reason. And these are a size 2, and they fit me pretty much perfect. So again, pant model to pant model, there can be a little bit of variance for visvim, but these ones, yeah, fit fantastic. And oh, these are 2018. So, you know, this is kind of what I mean in that you can see that there's like a 6-year difference between the last pants that I showed and these ones. And they start to get like really funky with some of the design ethos in more recent seasons. And I think that this is a perfect example of that. There are jeans as well that use tack methods that give pleats all the way down the thighs. There will probably be an image on screen, and I just love that that hand-done quality that it has. The stitches are very strong, however, they are not going to be going anywhere. So while the tack does seem a little bit haphazard, it is strong and it is definitely an intended part of the design. So the visvim Muir pants, I think one of my favorites. I think what a good example of what visvim does best, it's this little embellishment on a fairly normal pair of pants that just kind of elevate it as a whole. These are the Camus pants, but these are the Camus braces in particular. Pull the fly up. The Camus braces are unique in that, as you can see, based on these buttons, these are suspender pants. The pants have button detailing on the back and front of the waistband that allow you to put a, analogous suspender onto the pants, and you can wear them in multiple ways accordingly. You can wear them without the suspenders if you'd like to. The pants themselves are made with a little bit of a wider waist so that they can account for the suspenders and have a little bit more of a loose fit accordingly, but it is definitely your choice, and I've definitely worn these pants with and without the suspenders, which I think is one of my favorite aspects of it. It completely changes the look of an outfit when the suspenders are on versus off, and you can do both. You can have a belt run through and have the suspenders still sit at your waist, and it still looks fantastic. The Camus pants are a pretty consistent option in visvim's catalog, and understandably so. These are a really clean pair. They have a pretty wide straight leg to them. They've got pleats that run down the entire front of both thighs, and then I think that in and around the waist is some of my favorite details. It's got like a little key pocket that you've got right up there, and then on the back end you've got 2 back pockets and then a little buckle brace here at the back, which is inspired by old 501 pants and just older Levi's in general. A lot of other pants use this same buckle, but my first thing that comes to mind is old 501s and similar options. It allows you to be able to cinch in the fit a little bit too, so if you want to have the pants be a little bit tighter, you're more than welcome to use this. It's very marginal though. I think it's more so embellishment, but I do really like the embellishment for certain. And it's great when you're using the suspenders because the embellishment is a little bit more obvious. It's a really nice kind of lightweight cotton twill as well. It's in an ivory color. It's not a true white for certain. It's like eggshell. So it's great because you can get these things a little bit dirty and it's harder to tell. It has a little bit more character to it, and it's a fantastic pant for the summer accordingly. These could definitely use a wash, but I think that they will be great for this warmer season that we're about to go into. So visvim Camus pants. So moving on to the next pants, you'll see a bit of a running theme here with the next few, but I really do enjoy the braces model because of how unique it is to style. And that can be seen here with these pastoral braces. The braces are off at the moment. I'm looking at them hanging up right behind the camera. But these ones are done in this really lightweight and kind of olden linen material that I just love. I think these are the most worn pants. Now, while the Muir pants are my favorites, these are my most worn ones because this coloration is so unique and just gentle. It's fantastic for this like kind of light quality that it has. This linen wool blend is fantastic for the summer. It's fantastic in colder weather too. But I really, really love how these breathe. The actual materiality of it as well just has such a gentle hand done quality to it. It feels like an old pair of pants, but that's exactly how they are coming out of the gates. I got these from Haven on sale a good long while ago, and they just have such a unique quality to them. Compared to the Camus pants, these don't have that back brace, but I would say that overall these have a little bit more of like a wider and flowier fit to them. The one thing that I like about not only the Camus pants, but these pants as well, is that they have this stitched turn up at the end, which offers a little bit of detail, but also it's good for just kind of keeping the inseam at a proper height. If you need to go to a tailor and have it brought up even further, you're more than welcome to, but I think that just as a little bit of detail, it's a nice touch for certain. The buttons themselves are all wooden, this really dark, almost like mahogany brown, and it's a really great little touch because when you're looking at the buttons themselves, you're like, oh wow, that's got a really nice hand feel to them. It's one of the most distinctive things with a lot of the visvim items that I'm showing off is that the devil is in the details, and I think that that's something a lot of people who are into the brand become cognizant of the more that they wear it. Final little detail that I think I want to note just looking at them here is that the belt loops are unique. They have a little strong loop up at the top, I think compared to the bottom like most pants, and then their normal loop that you see at the bottom. This creates a little bit of a paper bag effect if you decide to wear it with a belt. These pants are insanely wide in the waist. These are a size 2, and they fit really, really wide in the waist. They're almost designed to be used with the suspenders specifically, but if you decide to use a belt with these guys, it really creates like a strong paper bag effect and really wide thighs and like a little bit of a pooling effect on your shoes, and I love it for that reason. Strong pleats down the front of either thigh. A fantastic pair of pants. Finally, I think the most sought after of all of these braces that I'm showing off, these ones right here are the Tioga braces in particular. The Tioga pant is well known for being like visvim's take on monkey pants. And monkey pants are a military pant that are noteworthy for this big bum pocket that you see here while having large three-dimensional side pockets on either side. These are actually one of the first visvim pants that I got. I saw these online and I was like, that is crazy. And I love them. And I ended up finding a guy who was selling them secondhand. He did it in a little bundle deal, and bada bing, bada boom, here we are. Really awesome pants. Similar, I don't think I've actually shown off another piece here that incorporates it, but visvim, on top of using these old world techniques and trying to go for future vintage in the way in which it's just kind of made, they also really embody that through hand distressing. And a lot of those hand distressed pieces, which are done in their studio out in Japan, warrant a higher price point. What I will say is that visvim has done some of the most tasteful distressing on any garment that I've seen. I'm usually a little bit tentative about distressing on garments. Visvim does it really right. You can probably tell from what I've already shown you, but there is wear on these, and that is all stuff that visvim had already had on the pants out the gate. Large little like brown stains that just kind of detail the pockets and would be exactly where you think they would. Denim stains as well, which is where there's little hints of blue in and around the pants, especially on the back pocket, etc. And then there's also like large bleach and paint stains as well that just kind of run down the thigh in all these unique ways. And what you could probably tell looking at the pants up close is that it's got this gorgeous herringbone quality to the material itself. It's very, very comfortable to wear, but it's also incredibly rigid feeling, and it also feels very old world, like I've said about some of these other pieces already. In the bum pocket, I have the braces, which can also be used on these. These are in fact suspender pants if I choose to do so. The one thing that I find to be unique about them is the fact that the buttons are on the inside for the suspenders, not the outside. So it creates a different way in which the suspenders hang on you should you decide to wear them that way. With all of that in mind, these are a size 1. The waist fits way more like it feels like a 34, to be honest. It's a very wide pair of pants, but the inseam is like a 30. It's actually a fairly short pair of pants in that respect. So if I had an ideal size for these, I'd probably do like a size 2. Size 1 does really well for me, but if I wanted a little bit more of the baggy cut that I think that they were going for with these, I think that the size 2s would have been the most ideal. These still fit fantastic. I wear them a majority of the time without the suspenders, because when I wear these with suspenders, they need to be really low on my waist or they look like high waters and it doesn't really work, and the fit my thigh is kind of odd. So I've found my own unique way to love these, and I definitely do, in fact, love them. They're awesome. So I hope that it comes across in camera how cool these things are, because just holding them here, the amount of details that I'm noticing just going one to the next is wild. Oh yeah, really gorgeous wooden buttons as well. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. And when did they come out with these? 19. So yeah, fall winter 19 from what it looks like, and they just have crazy amount of detail. This is what I mean by more recent season pieces just being a little bit more eccentric, and I love that. So I've got these guys right here. I think that they're worth going over because these are a fairly sought after pair of pants from my understanding, but I just got them in the mail. I was gonna record an unboxing that incorporated these and a couple of the other items that you'll be seeing, but it just didn't come out quite right, especially as I was trying to describe them. And these ones in particular, they're great. I could see these working really well on somebody else. I thought I would give it a go and try and lean back more into a slimmer silhouette just because of how rampant wide is nowadays. And I love wide, but it might be fun to just switch it up a little bit, see how things go. These are too skinny. These are too skinny. I might show these off in a video just so I could say that I tried them on, but I'm gonna be sending these back to the dude who sold them to me because they're just a little bit too tight for me. This is something that visvim is known for doing best. It is the 04 D14 Denim. D14 determines what type of distressing the pant has. The D14 model is really noteworthy for having this large squared distressed patch here. If they make 01 D14s, 02 D14s, it will have a similar distressing to it. And the D14 is known for being highly distressed, but it has this large rectangle on the thigh right here. On top of that, it's got these repaired holes that you see here with darning and a full-on patch behind the blowout itself that can be seen on either thigh. There is large distressing in the back of the knee as well to show where it's, well, I think this is honeycombs. Yeah, these are honeycombs right here. And then the whiskering that is up on the front as well insinuates this kind of implied age, but these are exactly how the pants come. On top of that, there's small ink and kind of denim stains that you can see throughout, sort of like the Tioga pants, which I think makes them really special. But yeah, they just don't fit quite right for me. It's a bummer because I do really like this distressing a lot. On the back, you've got a large indigo dyed elk patch. Little cat. Oh. You've got a large indigo dyed elk patch right here. And then one thing that's noteworthy, I think it's a lot of jeans have it, but with these in particular, there's a small stash pocket that's in the back pocket on the right side. And that would be lovely, but these things fit around my rear so tight that I can't fit anything into the pockets. These could be stretched, they could be, worn in some specific circumstances just so that it gets a little bit wider on me, but I think that I really would need like a 01 D14 pair to be truly satisfied with them. Something that's a little bit more of a straight cut to it because it's just a little too slim for me. I do a lot of stuff these days that are very voluminous, a lot of fits I should say that are very voluminous, and I don't mind getting back towards something skinny, but I'm just not at this level of skinny yet, and it's a bummer. So they're going to be sent back, but I think that they're worth showing regardless. Finally, this is going to be a goofy one. I'm realizing it because I'm wearing them right now, but these are the jumbo sweats that came in the same shipment as the denim over there. Really awesome pair of pants. They're done in this fantastic heather gray They have this stencil detail that you see right there. And then if I'm not showing it off in the video portion, the B-roll portion, I will just stand up on the stool because you can see that these have a very large, wide, and kind of baggy fit to them, which is exactly what I want with sweatpants. I've been looking for a pair of baggy, straight leg, gray sweatpants for a minute, and I have not been able to find a pair that really appeases me, but these were brought to my attention, and the same dude who sold me the jeans sold me these, and I'm very, very thankful for it. The heathering is awesome. It's got a large band that you can see here that needs to be cinched down because these pants fit like a 40-inch waist. I'm not kidding. And the hems also have a little bit of a drawstring to them as well that you can pull in. So if you wanted to wear these with boots or have it look like a little bit more of a militaristic look, the option is available for you too. Really love how these fit, really love the way in which they puddle down on shoes, and I love the customizability of them too. You can make them look a little bit more elevated. You can wear them when you're recording a video like I am now. The options are endless with something like this, and they're insanely, insanely comfortable. And they're not too hot either because this is a it's like a loop back French terry cotton, so it's just got a really gentle but not too hot quality to them, so they work in a wide variety of circumstances. So that's all the pants. At this point, let's move up to the tops. First piece that I've got right here is this Henley. I don't know the proper name of this shirt. Matthew, if you were watching this, if you want to tell me what it is, I'd appreciate it, because I'm not exactly sure what the model name for this Henley is, but it is a fantastic piece, and I'm mainly attracted to it for the color. This really lovely green that they've done for this piece is fantastic. And the devil's in the details. This little neck sewn in detail right here has that gorgeous pattern that you can see. It's got a little bit of a ghost stitch right here, which is like one of their tags, but on shirts and hoodies, it usually utilizes this stitch so that it's a little bit more gentle on the back of your neck. But that being said, there is a Made in Japan tag right there. The buttons all say visvim Peerless on them. So again, devil in the details. They really go hard on using their own hardware for the garments, and I think that it's a really fantastic little detail. The green itself is fantastic. The fit is a really nice, moderate and kind of straight cut. Fits me like a glove, and this green is just awesome. I love how light and refreshing it is, and it complements khaki very, very well without clashing, which I think is one of my favorite aspects of it. So yeah, little visvim Henley. I believe I got this from the same dude who sold me these sweatpants and the jeans, just in a different deal. So shout outs to him. So the other t-shirt that I have is something that I got as a little, gift to myself when traveling. This is the visvim Jumbo tee, but what's noteworthy about it is that it's got this unique screen print on it that gets every single store that they've had onto one shirt. So it's just awesome. I love this for the exact same reason that I liked the Henley. It's this fantastic schlubby cotton that is gorgeous in terms of its coloration, first and foremost. The material itself, I believe it's Giza cotton. They're also noteworthy for using Sea Island cotton, but this one feels like a Giza cotton, and it has this amazing sort of vintage feel to it just straight out of the gate, which is one thing that I really, really loved. It's got all of the original stores right here, some closed, some still open. It's also got stores on this breast. And then I think one of the best ones is that it's got all the international pop-ups and physical locations here on the back too. I think, it's got some Japanese locations as well. Peerless, Fukuoka, and Tokyo specifically, WMB store. I just really love the hand-drawn feel that this print has, and I really love the overall fit of it too. It's a little bit long. It's a little bit of a larger tee. It's a jumbo tee, so it's got a drop shoulder, but the sleeves are fairly short, and then the body is a little bit long. But given how lightweight and flowy this shirt is, it makes it a really nice kind of oversized fit. It wouldn't work so well if the material was a little bit more hardy or a little bit more rigid, but it's incredibly comfortable to wear. And on days off, this is usually what I'm wearing. I can't do screen prints, but when I'm at work, but when I'm on a day off, this is usually what I'm wearing because it's just so comfortable. So yeah, the visvim jumbo tee with the souvenir quality to it. I bought that at the Visvim Exposition, by the way. I should have probably mentioned that at the beginning of the description, but I went to the store. I got to chat it up with employees that I had met on a visit ages ago, and I was looking for something, you know, kind of in the $200 to $400 price range, and they grabbed this out for me, and I fell in love with it, especially because of this blue color. It's fantastic. All right, a more recent acquisition, and something that honestly would look really good with these sweatpants that I'm wearing right now, but this is a newer season piece. I believe that this is spring summer 21. Yep. Oh, no, this is spring summer 22. This is a current season piece. This is the visvim Mondo sweat. Yeah, guys, they took a sweatshirt and they cut the sleeves off of it and the neckline, and that's what this is. I wish I could say more, but it is just like, this is the kind of stuff that I love because it's obviously a very simple piece. It's something that you can very easily DIY yourself, kind of like the distressing that they incorporate on a lot of options, but they just do it to such an exacting degree on this that it ends up working phenomenally. And let me talk about how. The neckline itself obviously has that raw hem cut, but there is a seam that keeps it from deteriorating further. On top of that, they've decided to leave the V at the neck, so it insinuates that it used to be like an older sweatshirt that just had the neck portion lopped off, so it could be a little bit wider. The same thing happens at the sleeves. You've got a locked off stitch so that it won't unravel further. And then the entire thing is not only cotton and French terry, for that matter, as you can see here, but it is also cashmere. So this thing is insanely soft. It's about 10% cashmere, and it just gives it this amazing hand feel that, as I've worn it more and broken it in, has gotten even more comfortable. I got it on YJP. I got it for, I think, just a hair under retail because it is a fairly new season piece, and it's arguably like one of my favorite pieces that I've got from visvim. As you can tell, it is a box. And I think that's also something that made me really leap for this, is because the silhouette itself is what makes it so unique. It's not a sweater vest and it's not a sweatshirt, but you can wear it in either circumstance and it looks fantastic. You can wear this with the long sleeve, you can wear this with a t-shirt, you can wear this with a tank top, like you see me wearing it right here, and it just gives it a different look in all circumstances. And because it's a box, that's what makes it special too. It doesn't scrunch up at the bottom. It has this unique kind of square quality to it. And that was just it, is that there's this part of me that was thinking, okay, well, what if I just go to a vintage store and find a boxy cut sweatshirt and just lop the sleeves and the neck off? I'd have this. But that's just it, is that every time I looked for a sweatshirt, I could not find anything that was this wide. I believe this has about a 26-inch length from top to bottom. But nothing that was in that length had the same like pit to pit, not nearly as boxy as I would have wanted. So I think that they just really knocked it out of the park with the dimensions of this piece, in conjunction with the actual material itself being this cotton cashmere blend, and then the idea just works so well. So it's one of my favorite pieces for that reason. It's so versatile, it's so nice. Yeah. Visvim Mondo sweat in the heather gray colorway. They did this in a khaki as well as a navy blue, and I believe that they had some uneven dye versions of it as well. Which segues me into my next piece. Similar to the last piece, I also picked this up on YJP, and this is the Visvim Uneven Dye Amplus hoodie. This is one of their more recent season silhouettes, and I love it to death. The jumbo hoodie is a really noteworthy piece from visvim. It's essentially just an oversized hoodie. It's long, it's drop shoulder. That's pretty much it. This piece takes it to the next level by having it also be really wide and a little bit shorter. And that has been the name of the game for clothing silhouettes as of recently, is go full box. And I think that they just do it really well here too. And it fits in with the ethos of the brand too, because you see that silhouette with a lot of really old blanks. And this just takes that idea of an old blank and elevates it, because this entire thing has this uneven dye that just gives off a fantastic color in the white. The hood is massive, so it has this very monk-like quality when it's up over your head. The buttons have like a corroded quality to them, so they look olden, on top of the entire thing already looking olden. And then on top of all of that, there's crash detailing, which means that there is slight and faint bits of distressing all throughout the piece, just to double down on the overall wear that this has. You see it at the hem as well, and you see it over at the pockets too. The entire thing is a fantastically, like kind of hairy, I guess, French terry cotton, so it's fantastic to wear in warmer weather, but it's still warmth giving in colder weather in particular. This is from 2020. So again, a fairly new season piece that just takes a lot of the eccentric qualities that you might have seen from some of the older season pieces, cranks it up to 11. And that's what makes this one of my favorite hoodies. Matter of fact, I'm gonna wear it for the rest of the video. The final hoodie, and I think arguably the most sought after one, I guess sought after, but it's just like a unique hoodie that they have made, is this Upstreamers hoodie right here. The Upstreamer name is given to anything that utilizes this koi motif on there. This koi motif has been used on a lot of very extravagant and high quality options that they've sold. Some button-up shirts have had this koi design hand painted onto it, and those go for exorbitant amounts of money. But they have done t-shirts and they have done hoodies like you see here that use that same motif, but it's screen printed on in this really gentle and unique way. It's a fantastic piece, but it is testament to visvim's all over the place sizing. This hoodie right here is a size 2. It is massive on me. It's big, it fits perfect. This is a size 4 and it's almost too small. Take that information and go ham with it. But I love this thing. It fits me perfectly. I like the more trim fit because this makes it fantastic for layering and just having the koi pop out from whatever jacket you're wearing over it. And the detail on it is awesome. It's really, really lightweight. It's definitely designed with the summer in mind. So if the other options worked well for the summer as sweatshirts and what have you, this is definitely like the summer sweatshirt. The hood is still pretty large and vacuous, and it doesn't have any drawstring in it, so it gives it a little bit more of a gentle cut and look. And then the inside is a very fine French terry, much finer than the French terries of the Mondo sweatshirt or this uneven dye option. So that's kind of what makes it like this interstice between a long sleeve shirt and a hoodie. It is really towing that line. I'm always scared to wear this hoodie because this thing is white. There are plenty of stains that I am seeing on it just holding it up like such, but the detail on this thing is fantastic, and the way that it looks just on person just has such a cool, like, gentle American quality to it while still having this really gorgeous Japanese koi design on it. I don't know what it is. This is just one of those pieces that I think does so well at combining East versus West, and I love it for that reason. So, moving on. At this point, we are getting onto the last leg, which is going to be my uppers as well as my one pair of sunglasses that I have. The first is something that came in the mail today along with the jeans as well as the sweatpants that I'm wearing right now. But it is the visvim Crash lumber shirt in the Indigo check. Yeah, this is a wild, wild piece. A lot of other companies have their take on flannels, distressed flannels, uniquely constructed flannels. Brands like Greg Lauren immediately come to mind, Double RL, things similar. But this one is just visvim's take on it, and it is unique, to say the least. First things first, this Indigo check is amazing. I'm incredibly tentative about what flannels I wear because growing up in a town where the flannel was the thing that everybody just wore for the sake of wearing, and it's that thing that kind of kept you from being naked while also keeping you warm, I really am careful about wearing flannels because it's just one of those things that I don't really vibe with. I feel the same way about sandals sometimes, I feel the same way about board shorts, and it's just because it's what I grew up around, and I'm very careful about wearing that type of thing. But this one really leapt out to me. And I think it's honestly because of the crash detailing, but it's also just because of how lovely this Indigo check is. As you can see up here up close, it's got colors of brown, ivory, a really grassy green and blue in there too. But what you might also see peeping is the fact that there's also these large portions all throughout the garment that have been distressed, like broken, and then mended. And it's been mended with denim, which I think is one of its coolest details. The only place where you don't see fixing is in the elbows, where there are large blowouts. But then everywhere else has some type of mended quality to it. Here at the hem, you've got a large denim wedge that has been fixed, and it is like that on the inside too. It is a full denim patch. You've got little hems and portions here where it's using the same kind of material over and over again. You can see on the inside of the garment where there are just these large denim patches that have been fixed up, and that also carries over onto the front as well, where there are just like large holes that have been redone with denim, just so that the piece can kind of be held together, if you will. The amount of character on this thing is wild, and I'm usually, again, very tentative about like a old piece or trying to make something distressed because it just doesn't look natural. But I think that they do a really lovely job at being able to recreate that natural quality on this piece itself. You see it all down here at the hem as well. Final little detail is that it's got this visvim stitch right up here at the neck, which I think is just a lovely little extra touch. So, oh yes, right there in all its glory. This thing is way too much money. It is way too much money for a flannel. I'll let you look that up yourself, but I can easily see this just being like the flannel for me because of the colors. Like, I have never liked a check this much because these are all my favorite colors: blue, green, brown, ivory. Like, that's like a color palette that I try to achieve. And so I could wear this with anything where I feel like the flannel or an overshirt would be appropriate. That's all I can say. The visvim lumber shirt. This is a size 1, it fits massive. So it fits me pretty true when I wear it, and it's still got a bit of a dropped shoulder. If you get this in your true to size, it is designed to be worn oversized, very large, an overshirt, if you will, with these distressed details. I got mine a little bit truer to size, and I don't mind it. I do not mind it at all. All right, this is gonna be a piece that I think I'm gonna probably keep for the rest of my life at this point because of how much I love it. And the only way that you're gonna be able to get a sense of this entire thing is, well, if I show it off this way, but also just in the product photos. This is the visvim Chamdo Fishtail Parka. This is kind of that piece that I was saying is like this interstice item if you were really into acronym. I say that because this is based off of a military fishtail parka, but what this does is that it's styled in such an implicit way to turn it into a Japanese traditional robe, and that is born out of this large asymmetrical re zipper that has been corroded and allows the piece to be able to be zipped up like such, so that it sits on the right-hand column of the jacket and keeps you completely consumed. This thing is massive. It is humongous. It is a size 1, and it feels like an extra large on me, a 5'10" individual. Massive, humongous. And I think that it's just such a unique, awesome detail. It's got these large silver buttons that run all the way up and down the garment, which allow you to be able to style it in multiple ways. It's got 2 typical hand pockets that sit on either side of the thigh because of how low it hangs. The inside of said pockets not only have a duffel quality to them so that they stay extra closed, but on the inside there is herringbone material, not too dissimilar from the Tioga pants that I was showing off earlier. That same detail is seen on this asymmetrical chest pocket that we have up here, which allows you to be able to have an extra point of carrying capacity if you have the entire thing done up and zipped up. And it really reminds me of the J36 from Acronym, which I will have a photo of, but this just is a little bit more slight and implicit, and I love the detail there. It's got a large badge portion up here at the chest, very reminiscent of typical fishtail parkas. I've had a normal fishtail parka, and to see this versus that is just wild because the amount of implicit detail here is just nuts. The entire collar is massive and rounded, which adds to the robe-like quality that the piece has. And the entire thing is made out of like a mud-dyed cotton. So that's what gives it this really natural green color, like a fishtail parka that has been around since the 70s, but this is exactly how it came. It is a fantastic piece, and to see that mud dye detail creates this really awesome, voluminous thing is just wild. I just love how it's able to be a robe, but it's also a jacket. And because it's a robe, it can be layered with, and I can wear it with something like this hoodie, and it creates like a really cool, effortless look. And at the very same time, I can also just wear it by itself with a tank top like what I was wearing earlier, and leave it open, and that completely changes it. It's so versatile while being so powerful. And at the very same time, because it is just a pretty simple green jacket, it's also not necessarily like a statement piece. It's the kind of thing that you can wear 3 days in a row, and it's not going to be like that, oh, he's wearing the jacket again. Not exactly sure about that. I think people would still make remarks about it, but at the same time, it is not like a very loud piece. It is a fishtail parka. And I think a fishtail parka is great because it is a parka, it is larger, it is a little bit more costume-like, but it is still easy to wear on a daily basis. And this takes that, but then gives it the visvim twist. The sleeves also see that giant, massive quality that you see with the rest of the body, but the buttons have been done in a way so that they can be fastened in really tight to the proper sort of collar width, and it creates a giant balloon effect on the sleeve itself. The sleeves also have pleat details that are reminiscent of what you would see on a fishtail parka. So the amount of attention that went into this piece is just nuts, and I love it for that reason. On the inside of the jacket, you also see these two little buttons right here so that you can take the fishtail and then button it up so it is a flat-hemmed jacket like a normal fishtail parka. They just did that. They thought that that would be necessary for the fishtail parka, and it's just details like that that just like, it's like chef's kiss. Amazing. I was hesitant about doing B-roll for this video because I thought, okay, well, it's just going to be me walking in front of the camera wearing all these different pieces over and over and over again. It's so many pieces, I don't know if I want to do it, but because of this jacket alone, I feel like I need to do it now. It is insane. So yes, the visvim fishtail Chamdo parka. Wild piece. A little bit of a simpler piece. I will be relatively brief with this. This is a 2011 visvim dugout shirt. It utilizes wooden buttons down this entire column. It has a unique placket and construction because it is inspired by a baseball shirt, a traditional baseball jersey, if you will, but it utilizes unique and kind of old world materials. It is a mohair wool blend, so it is soft, albeit itchy in specific circumstances. It's got armpit vents, and it's got these gorgeous antiqued wooden buttons that you see here. It's made in Japan. It's got a pretty trim fit. You could definitely size up in this thing and wear it a little bit oversized, but I have it in a size 1 and it fits me trim, and I do like it that way. I just wear it by itself with a tank top at most. And then the sleeves themselves are fairly short and have a strong cuff on them like baseball jerseys. They use the dugout shirt in a lot of their more current season stuff. It's fantastic for that very reason. So yeah, really cool piece. Keeping it with the shirts, but kind of leaning into what I was talking about earlier with this blend of East versus West. This is the Happi shirt. This is actually, I think, one of the first visvim pieces that I had bought that made me really just want to jump into the brand more so. It's a kimono, pretty much. It's a yukata specifically. So it's got this 3/4 length sleeve here, really wide body, and then an open collar. So there's no detail that necessarily keeps it shut. One of the nice implicit details, however, is that it's got a couple of hand pockets right here. And then what you can also see, just looking at the garment, is that it's this gorgeous white weft dominant selvage denim, which gives it this fantastic look and feel, which is honestly my favorite part of it. It's got a red stitch on the inside to signify the selvage lining as well. Up towards the neck, it's got a little bit of a contrast white twill to just sort of, support you in and around the shoulder, good for the comfort that it offers as well. But this is a fantastic piece because I can layer this with the hoodie that I'm wearing right now. It can be worn with the tank top underneath as well, button-up shirts, what have you. This is something that you can throw over a majority of garments, and it just gives it a little bit of a unique flair and look. And I really, really love it for that reason. Great with wide leg pants, great with straight leg pants. It works in a wide variety of circumstances, and this denim that it's made out of just gives it a really lovely fit and feel. And the way that it kind of looks on the body as time goes on is awesome. I could also see this being a piece that just starts to look cooler and cooler as the wear points and where it starts to kind of nestle down onto your body get more and more worn, and it starts to, you know, whisker, I guess, in specific areas. If it would even do that. I think you would need to wear it very, very consistently to be able to do so, but a fantastic piece regardless. This was on Essence for like 70-ish% off at the very tail end of their sale a couple of sale seasons ago, and I swooped it up because I was like, that is just awesome. So this is the visvim Unwashed Happi shirt, I believe. They've done this silhouette in a couple of other materials, but this is the unwashed version of the Happi shirt. So yeah, moving on. So this is a big banger of a piece, and yeah, I really love this thing, and I kind of, you know, realize how special it is. It's the visvim 101 jacket in suede. It's called the IT jacket. Reason being is because this is actually one of the few pieces that visvim has made in Italy. And I think that it's just so, like, awesome when it comes to the overall detail of this. While there might be more information out there as to what type of cow they use for this incredibly luxurious and soft suede, and there might be more information as to why they contract Italy specifically to do so. I do know that they do a couple of other pieces made in Italy as well, a couple of kimono style pieces, usually leather focused, but this one I think is just such a gentle and awesome take on the well-desired Type 2 jacket. But this is the visvim 101 jacket, so what that means is that it's got the same knife pleats that you see here on the front that you would get with most Type 2 jackets. And because it's Type 2, there are 2 front pockets here. But the one thing that visvim did that makes it awesome, and I think, you know, so much more easy to use, is that it has these side pockets that you see here that you can keep your hands in. Re zippers as well, just to really kind of nail down the quality of them. They're on both sides. And that is one of my favorite factors of the 101 jacket, is that inclusion of pockets, because it's just such a nice thing to have your jacket have hand pockets in it. But I have like a Type 1 and I have a Type 2 jacket that don't have pockets, and it's still completely suitable. It becomes a little bit more of kind of like an overshirt accordingly, but that included detail here just really gives it a nice flair that I really enjoy. The final details are here on the back, where it's got this large elk patch in an indigo dye, really just showing off the visvim quality. And then it's also got these buttons that you see here so that you can adjust the fit. I've actually got it a little bit tighter right now because I like the way that it looks. The final detail, I think, is that all the buttons are this visvim peerless button that you see here in a nice kind of worn-in silver. Really nice little touch for certain. But a really easy piece to wear, a statement piece as well. Looks great with a wide variety of stuff, and I really love it for that reason. So yeah, the visvim suede 101 jacket. And then my final piece that I have right here was a grail of mine for a long while prior to me buying anything visvim related, because I just thought that it looked so cool, and then ended up being able to acquire it. This is the visvim Pilar vest. A really fantastic piece. This is modeled after it's modeled after a fishing vest that was made by a very specific fishing company back in the day. There's a whole article on it. I will link that in the description down below. And visvim took the overall silhouette, made some slight tweaks to it for aesthetic purposes, but also functionality purposes, and then put it back out into the world. This has come out in multiple variations, going across all of the small sub-labels that visvim has, like ICT, Contrary Department, etc. And this one in particular is from ICT, Indigo Camping Trailer, and it's noteworthy because of the denim patch that they have right here on this pocket, as well as the denim tag that is there in the back. Noteworthy details, all of the zippers are a really high silver riri. It has this gorgeous kind of light construction to it with a very soft twill fabric. The two badges on either chest, like you can see here, are sheepskin. And then there is a herringbone material that can be found in and around the neck and the armpits of the jacket. The one most fun detail that gives it this really cool asymmetrical quality, unique layering properties, and also just what makes it fun to wear just as a shirt by itself, or just over a t-shirt or something similar, is this drop pocket that you see right here, which has a vintage indigo dyed fabric that is laid just beneath the pocket itself. Just behind the visvim peerless button that you see right here, it is in fact a full pleated pocket that you can drop things down into. So many a time I have kept a hairband, a set of keys, what have you, all in this. And if you don't want it there, you can easily just unzip it and take it off of the jacket itself. There's also a small D-ring right here so that you can keep your keys hanging out and about so they're easy to get to. But if you don't want them there, you can use one of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pockets that adorn the chest itself so that you can, keep stashed things where they need to be. Plenty of times where I've done that as well. On the inside, you've got a lining that they've used on a lot of some of their more premier items. It is this Native American battle that you can see here with, old Western soldiers as well as Native Americans on it. Really cool detail, really, really soft as well. A unique print, not one of my favorite prints, but it's definitely a really lovely one in terms of hand feel and the way that it just offers you a little bit of something that is, only something that you would know. So a serious grail here for me. The amount of styling capabilities that this has is awesome. It's very similar to the Fishtail Parka to me in that very reason. And this is just another instance of visvim taking something really unique, archival, or old, and then just reinventing it in this new context with very amazing material choices. Made in Japan, like many of the other pieces that I have. My phone keeps going off. And really lovable for that very reason. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm going to try and get this all doctored up and then sent out fairly quickly after I recorded it. Just something a little bit more casual compared to videos past. It's a pickup video essentially, not quite as essay-like as some of my shoe reviews or some of my acronym videos, but I just wanted to put something out there and show that I'm still very much into this hobby, and still really enjoy talking about just really well-made product. That's what's made me very into visvim in the first place, and it's something that keeps me wanting to make videos in general. I just love being able to share items that have been critically thought over in multiple facets to act as, a means of expression for whoever wears it, and as something that you can be proud to wear. And I feel proud wearing all of the visvim items that I have. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope to make this a little bit more consistent, and hope to see you soon. Take care.